first things first, the quality of this video is probably not going to be as good as previous videos, and that's because it's pitch black and I'm in my office with no natural light, only the spotlights above and a main light over there. So sorry for that, but listen to what I say. It doesn't matter how clear my face is. I ain't got anything on it though, have I? Okay, so in Ep 8 I spoke about some personal worries that myself and my wife had over Corben starting school. The day after that video was released, we then announced we actually didn't go ahead with sending him to school and we've decided to home educate. What? He was starting school and then you had some worries and now he's not starting school. That's not really the case. We've been looking into home education for the last 12 months. And when I say looking into it, I mean I have watched well over 100 YouTube videos by professionals, vloggers, for and against. I've looked at the pros, the cons. We've read I don't know how many websites. I've joined Facebook groups. I've spoke to teachers. I've spoke to professionals. We've done the groundwork. We've done everything. We know as much about home education, the pros and cons of it, as anybody, I'd say. So it wasn't just a snap decision. It was something that I actually wanted to do from the off. We just weren't sure and we couldn't come to a mutual agreement of a definite either way. So we decided we would try school, and if it wasn't working for us or Corben, we'd take him out. It got to the day of him about to start the following day and we decided, do you know something, I think there's too many pros to home educating for us to not just go ahead and do it. Okay, if you haven't watched episode 8, go and watch Ep 8. Go on. Right, if you have watched it or you've just come back from watching it, they aren't the sole reasons why. I think this is the confusion to some people who have not reacted in the way I thought they might. They aren't the sole reasons. It's not that he's had a nut allergy and we're worried about how they're going to handle that in school. It's not that we've been let down by professionals, health professionals before. It's not that we've been let down or we're worried about somebody else taking care of Corben on a day-to-day basis. I think everybody has those worries and everybody would have those worries given the experiences that we've gone through. They aren't the reasons, and I think that's where people might be getting a little bit muddled up. We're not doing home educating because of that. We're doing home educating, that's a part of it. However, there's tons more to it. We've done the research, we've done the investigating. There are myths surrounding home education. What I want to do is I want to educate people that aren't quite sure about home educating, homeschooling. I like to call it home educating because school is where you go to be educated. He's not going there, he's being educated at home. So home educating is the term that I'd like to use. And I want to educate people that might be looking into it, people that might be thinking of doing it, people that might be just having a child, people that might just want to be nosy and look how it's all done, and people that don't understand it or understand the decisions why, the reasons, why we've made this decision. Why you should. Right, well here's some more reasons for you. I believe the education system has been in play for years, and I'm talking over 100 years. A video that I posted last night said 150 years. 150 years people have been in classrooms being told stuff and it's not changed. Cars, aeroplanes, technology in the last 5 years has blown mental, but education in the main has stayed the same for definitely as long as anybody watching this, unless this video is still popular in another like 70 year or whatever. Anybody that's watching this, our entire lives, no matter how old you are, the education system has not changed a great deal. The way that it's presented. I believe we've had 2 girls. I'm not talking about this based on a Google search. We've got real life experiences. We've got 2 girls, 11 and 12. They're in high school now. We've found that throughout primary school, there are people that are academically brilliant. They learn in an academic way. You can tell them things, you can give them things to read, and then they can answer questions, which is what schools do in the main. Now, I know not all schools are that rigid, but a massive percentage of time at school is sat in a classroom reading or being told things. There's not that much practical stuff going on for you to learn these things. There just isn't. If you're an academic learner, you will succeed at school. Now, if you're a practical learner, you're going to be, if you're lucky, you might get above average, but you're probably going to be average or below, because they don't teach in a practical sense. Now, what I mean by this is, where I just said, if you can take information in from being told it or reading it and then answer questions, you're perfect, you're academic. If you're a practical learner, you get bored of that. You're not listening because you can't concentrate on somebody just telling you stuff and telling you stuff and telling you stuff. If you're reading something that you're not genuinely interested in, which a lot of kids are not interested in half the work they do at school. They're just not. How many children say, oh, school boring today, oh yeah, we did. It's very rare. It does happen sometimes, like when our children did World War II, they were really into that, and that's good. However, most kids get bored, and I understand because I got bored. I get bored of someone telling me stuff, and I get bored of reading something I'm just not interested in. Therefore, you ask me the same questions, i.e. SATs tests, GCSEs, exams, mock tests, whatever tests, because that's all schools seem to do, test. You're not going to be able to answer them because you got bored halfway through, so you're not taking it in. Therefore, you'll never succeed in school. So does that then mean that the child that's practical based learning, they didn't do the exam as well as the other kid? So does that mean the other kid's more intelligent? Is that how you measure intelligence? Because if it is, then we're doing a huge disservice to children. There's only one measure. There's one lot of SATs tests, there's one lot of GCSEs, and all the rest of it throughout school. There is one way of teaching, and there is one test at the end of it. If you don't learn in that way, we're doing a disservice to the children that don't learn that way. That's how I feel. Now, if I get our two daughters, I can use as an example, because if I say to Kira, who's the academic learner, come on, I want to show you how to edit this YouTube video, she's probably going to think, oh, I'm not really bothered about that. She prefers to research, read articles, that type of stuff. But if I start saying, I want to show you something, she can't be bothered with any of that. It's too much doing and fiddling about. But she can take information in if I just talk to her and tell her. But showing her, she can't be bothered. Another kid, Abby, if I say to her, come and watch me do this, and I edit a YouTube video, for example, she'll take that in. It's practical, she's interested in it, she'll take it in, and then she knows it. So there, is she more intelligent? Because when we're doing the practical exercises, she will excel and the other one won't. Switch the academic, the other one will excel, the other one won't. So you see what I mean? I mean, there's millions of examples that I can give, but we're doing a disservice to children that don't learn the way that schools teach. There was a brilliant quote that I read. If children don't learn the way we teach, maybe we should teach the way they learn. Google it and Michael J. Fox's picture comes up. If he said it, then genius. If he didn't and it would just happen to be his picture, whoever said it is brilliant, because that is exactly how I feel. The curriculum that schools have, the education system have, is this big. However, teachers who are working currently in today's education system have told me that they are then told, but focus on this section because that's what will pass the grades, that's what will get the grades, and that's all the school is bothered about. And all this other stuff that children's mind could be opened up to is left at the wayside, just forgotten about. And that's come from people working in today, 2016, working in today's education system. what alarmed me in the first couple of months of researching home education is the amount of people home educating that have worked in schools or work in schools. Teachers, ex-head teachers. It blew my mind, because I'm thinking, you were working in that you went into education to inspire young people and to teach young people, and now you won't even put your children in there. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? That should be alarming in itself, should it not? So these are other reasons that are added to personal worries from personal experiences, and I'd like to think that shows that we haven't taken the decision lightly. We have thought about this, and I feel that our minds have been opened to a world of possibilities that we want Corben to have access to. We don't want his mind at the moment as a child is limitless, it's infinite, and we don't want that to be narrowed right down to meet a national curriculum to pass a test. We've had experience of children anxiety, panic attacks, all sorts of stress, being asked to go in 6 days within the 2 weeks Easter holidays to revise for SATs. On the other hand, telling the kids, oh, don't worry about the SATs, but can you come in most days of the holidays to do extra work for you to pass these SATs tests? There's so much pressure on young people. In year 6, they're only 11. Why are they being put on so much? Why do they insist children are put under so much pressure at such an early age? It's because they're testing the schools. It is nothing to do with testing the actual children, because as soon as you go to year 7, depending on where you're from, but it's called year 7 where we're from, is the first year of secondary school, high school. No one mentions your SATs results. They're not for the children. It doesn't matter. I hope that's cleared up a few things. The main thing that I just want to come across is we've spoken to all different types of people. We have done the research. We have done the investigation. We've not taken this decision lightly whatsoever. So I hope that's come across. I hope I've got my reasons across and explained myself well. I'm open to any questions whatsoever on Dad v World, and we're going to basically log our experience home educating Corben, and hopefully be a source of information for others that might follow our route. Thank you.